of the United States.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
On a day where he installs 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, how did you feel about his message regarding the economy?
I thought it was very positive. I think what's happening now, we used to be a country that would just let everything happen. Okay, we'll do this. You know, you guys, Panama can have this. You know, I think now we're taking back things that should have never been given away. So I think doing those tariffs and everything, I think it's well overdone. I mean, it should have been done a long time ago.
To the results, what was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. And unfortunately for all that is going on now, let's just say that the Democrats are in a complete collapse. There's nothing else to say that these Democrats have done that they could just rectify this. And there's also the fact that they decided to mock, roll their eyes, and pretty much just not even clap for a kid with brain cancer that survived, and he got honorary Secret Service, and they're like, oh no, this is not a problem. This is like it's just insane. It's stupid. I cannot believe that they have done this, and it just really shows on how heartless and how evil they are, and even calling for the unwanted death of the kid as well. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna get directly into this. So here's what we have here from CBS News, where the actual polls are talking about. It says, polls on Trump's 2025 joint address to Congress finds a large majority of viewers approve. So, as you can tell, even on CNN, we had it where they were up to like 45 or so, 48% approval rate of Trump's speech. Well, we have viewers of Trump's speech pretty much saying that 76 approve and 23 disapprove. Trump time spent on issues that you care about, 63%, a lot, 28%, a little, and 9% not at all. This is party identification of the speech watchers, which 51% Republicans, 27% Independents, and 20% Democrats. Now, this is something that people can start talking about, right? Where, like, maybe, okay, only most of the Republicans watch, and Democrats are probably going to tune out over to the fact that, you know, that people have watched this, right? That Democrats are not going to watch it because the Republicans talking about. But I have a different situation here. I have a different thing that maybe people don't seem to understand. If this is the case here, then what is it that if a lot of the people are just leaving the Democratic Party? All right? What if that is the case here? Because as we've seen throughout the videos I've been making and throughout the years of watching the Democrats, there have been a lot of Democratic people just leaving the party, straight out just leaving, announcing their leave as well. And due to that, we're getting this. So maybe they went more closer to independents. Maybe they went more closer to Republicans. Who knows? But I do know that this poll can be not correct here, right? This whole entire poll, not just this. But of course, we have speech and made you feel 68% hopeful, 54% proud, 27% worried, and 60% angry. In speech, Trump was 74% presidential, 74% entertaining, 71% inspiring, 62% unifying, and 46% divisive. Now, I don't think Trump was very divisive at all. I think it was pretty unifying. He was pretty much calling the Democrats out on their BS, right? And rightfully so. He's right. They won't vote or do anything to side with Trump at all on what he does. So that being said, it's not really divisive. It's just like he's just pointing out what is just reality. They will not accept or vote for anything that Trump does. That's just truth. It says, does Trump have a clear plan for inflation? He has 68% yes and 30% no. And I agree with this. I think he does have a plan for inflation because obviously he says, we're going to feel a little bit of pain. It might be a little bit rocky at start because I'm still working on it. Here are my plans. And he has it. And he told a reason why and all this stuff. So he does have plans. So all of this here, and then I wasted government spending is 7% 77% on immigration and border percent. On immigration at the border. Ukraine and Russia at 73%, and tariffs at 65%. course, dislike is 23% for pretty much two of them, 27% for Ukraine and Russia, and 35% with tariffs. We have Trump described crime problem as 68% about as it is, 22% than it really is, and then not as bad as it really is. And having congressmen removed from chamber from undercharging Trump, 76% approve and 24% disapprove. So, yeah. I mean, that guy was just being obnoxious, right? He was not trying to prove any decorum, and obviously, if he was allowed to stay, it would have been worse. Other Democrats would have stayed in. So, yes, the sergeant of arms had to come in and remove the guy. Now, we're going to be talking about the kid finally, because this is the big important thing, I think, out of all this. I mean, everything about Trump's speech was important, but here's a good, big, crucial thing here, guys. This is what the Democrats were talking about, where they were refusing a kid acknowledging him. So, let's talk about is Democrats refuse to clap or stand for this little boy battling cancer. Let that sink in. So, this is what's going on here, right?
Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "Nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. So again, this is who they're rolling their eyes, mocking, hope he doesn't commit the worst thing possible. And this is what it is. It's just this is him right here. Yeah, obviously this is going to be in the thumbnail. And then you have this here as well, where he hugs the man. It was very heartwarming. And if you are have any type of emotion at all, if you are an actual person, this is very, very heartwarming. It's very great. And then, of course, you have Demons of the Night. The Democratic Party are just kind of going against it, right? So we have this here from Charlie Cook saying, Rachel Maddow says President Trump celebrating a young cancer survivor disgusting. For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pancreatic cancer as if the president has something to do with that. This take is disgusting, Rachel, and we're going to listen to it because it is absolutely disgusting. It is vile.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising DOJ. The DOJ cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
This is the reason why I hate the left, guys. This is the absolutely reason why I hate the left and why I cannot stand Democrats and why I cannot stand these people. She is literally saying that Trump was making a spectacle and trying to, celebrate a young cancer person. So it's a problem celebrating a young cancer person, a brain cancer survivor that had his wishes, that wanted things to come true, and honoring him into the Secret Service for his actual dream to be a police officer. What are we doing here? Exactly. How is this disgusting in any way? He praised this young man. He gave this kid a dream to follow, a thing to give him for praise for surviving brain cancer, by the way. If anybody knows on how traumatic brain cancer, I know at least 2 people that have gone through brain cancer within my family, all right? 2 people. And I know one other person that was not a part of my immediate family, but was one of my best friends that also died from cancer. So do not give me this BS to where, celebrating this thing is a problem here. This is disgusting in every way. It's just really quite disgusting. And I cannot stand it. Of course, we have this here, because this doesn't end with just Rachel Maddow being an absolutely disgusting garbage human. We have somebody even worse than Rachel Maddow, which is surprising considering what she just said. But what we have here is from MSNBC, a woman pretty much saying that, hoping this kid doesn't end himself because, he's going to be defending Secret Service or defending Donald Trump. That's what he says. This is disgusting.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
This woman literally said that hope this kid doesn't end himself. What are we doing here exactly? What is MSNBC doing here? The fact that you guys are going out and saying, I hope he doesn't lose his life to suicide. What are we doing here? Now, YouTube, I am not advocating for this whatsoever. This is the people at MSNBC saying this, right? This is the oligarchs and the great people at YouTube on MSNBC saying this. So I'm not condoning this, YouTube. In fact, I am immensely against this. Because the fact that this woman is going out here and says, oh, I hope he doesn't die of this. I hope he doesn't do this to himself. Absolutely disgusting human being. And of course, we have it worse here because, it doesn't end with the Democratic Party. They have to keep on going for worse. So it says Devin Wasserman and Schultz and her fat friend are nonplussed about a bred kid with cancer. Maybe sometimes people are just pure evil and they're not clapping, they're not doing anything, they're just sitting out like this. It is absolutely disgusting.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret.
I'm going to rewind that a little bit here so you guys get to see. Look at his face. He's shocked by this. He's absolutely shocked by this. All right? This is not a face that is like, that you know that you're not going to happen. And then he's smiling. He's like, what is this? And you have these vile demons over here saying this stuff where I hope he doesn't end himself. And saying it's disgusting that Trump is praising somebody for something like this. And this is the kid's reaction. What are we doing here? And, of course, we have this here from Maxine Waters. Now, we're going to not go with the kid here. We're not going to go with him. We're going to go with Maxine Waters pretty much saying that for the victims of the border crisis is an issue. But specifically, she's talking about, I may believe it is Jocelyn Nungary that was doing this, right? So I had to go look at this because I couldn't pronounce her name to save the life of me. And this is what she has. This is what she's talking about here.
And I really did not like the way he used the tragic incidents and the families that were there, who of course appreciated, what they think is their president caring about what happened, to the 12-year-old and to others who were victims. And we all feel sad and bad for them, but he misused them.
No, you don't. You don't feel sad at all.
And what he did was he focused on them instead of focusing on the real issues that we're dealing with now.
What do you mean? He was honoring them. So again, he gave the Laken Riley Act, in honor of her and to say this is not going to happen again and not allow illegals to do this type of thing, right? And then this is another thing too. He was pretty much talking about the Jocelyn Nungri, who was murdered and unfortunately raped. And this is what she was going. And this what he did was he said across Galveston Bay from where the Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful 30,004-acre sanctuary for all God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of the beautiful daughter, Jocelyn.
I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order? Thank you.
Now, if you guys are too that cannot understand what is going on here, she pretty much just said thank you. All right, she said thank you. Now, and this is something that people don't seem to understand, right? Where these vile people are saying this is an issue, this is a problem, or this is a distract from the actual issues. He is tackling the actual issues, Maxine. He is. He's making sure that illegals do not come into our country and do the thing that he did, do the things that they did to Jocelyn and Laken Riley, by the way. That's what he's doing. So you vile demons are just getting in the way of everything. And of course, Trump's big speech proves to be an optics nightmare for Democrats, which I am not surprised considering the fact the way they acted during the entire speech is disgusting. I know this video is long, but I wanted to show you guys exactly what's going on here. All the information that these Democrats have been doing and why this is absolutely disgusting, right? The fact of the matter is that these people are demons in the night. They are evil. Because the fact that they will not praise, they will not clap, they will not do anything for a person with brain cancer, and then a kid with brain cancer, no less, and then to add insult to injury, you're going to say that, like, oh, well, he's not paying respects to victims of the border crisis, and said they're distracted from the actual issues. No, he's just honoring them because they're giving a place for the America to understand on what happened to these people, and maybe, just maybe, we won't have these things happen again. But of course, the Democrats are evil. They don't care. They are evil in the night, and this is what they are. That's just plain and simple. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
Burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your